The Amazing Spider-Man, Issue 1, written by Nick Spencer and art by Ryan Ottley, has finally arrived. Stay tuned, fans! Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider-Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on what comic books to buy. And today, guys, we're talking about the long-awaited new Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue 1, or if you follow the legacy numbering, issue 802. But the important thing is that it is written by Nick Spencer and the artwork is done by Invincible's Ryan Ottley. Now, let's talk about the artwork in this particular issue now, shall we? So, if you've read Invincible before, you're going to feel like, yes, you know, a lot of the characters kind of look similar to the characters that are used to seeing in Invincible. But the one thing I can tell you fans, if you don't agree with this artwork, is that the longer you read this book, the more and more you're going to get removed from Invincible and accept that this is going to be Spider-Man, or it feels more like a Spider-Man book than a Invincible book. Because I kind of got that feeling by the time I got to the end of this book. I was already used to the artwork, and I forgot that it was Invincible. So when you read the story that goes along with the artwork, it makes sense, okay? Characters look good. I think Ottley's trying to get a little bit more away from him looking like Mark Grayson. You know, Mary Jane kind of looks like Adam Eve, but what's wrong with Adam Eve? She looked like MJ to me in my, way of thinking. So, nevertheless, I thought the artwork was good. All the characters were good. Mysterio was good. Kingpin was good. There was a lot of nice-looking characters in this book. So, let's dive into this story, shall we? Story will contain spoilers, obviously. Again, feel free to comment anytime you like on this video. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up along the way and subscribe to the channel. Alright, so let's go into this book. So right away, the first thing that happens in this issue is we get to see Peter Parker in black-suited Spider-Man. And MJ makes an appearance. She is the first thing you see in this book. So longtime fans are going to be happy with this because it's like, okay, is Nick Spencer going to involve Mary Jane in his book? And right away, you get that feeling like, yes, that's going to happen. And he wakes up and he has this dream sequence with her. You know, she's always on his mind, okay? And then the next thing we wind up seeing is you get to see Peter and Robbie's son or nephew or whoever it is, Randy Robertson. He winds up, you know, he's his roommate. And Boomerang is his roommate, too. And Peter obviously knows that, you know what I'm saying? And it pisses him off. But any indication of this could give away his secret identity. So it's kind of funny to see Nick Spencer write Boomerang because he wrote them in Superior Foes of Spider-Man. And his characters' personalities are really funny. Boomerang's really funny. You get to see the Beetle in this issue as well. And she's really good too. And the interactions between the characters are really awesome. Okay? The next thing we wind up seeing is that Spidey, the Avengers, Thing, Doctor Strange, they're all dealing with this alien threat. And you get to see, as Spider-Man is dealing with this alien threat, you see that he's constantly thinking to himself. The narration is him talking to himself. And you get to see him deal with other situations because Kingpin is in this as well. And then we wind up finding out that the major part of this story is that, yes, he's talking about how he had his nice job with the Daily Bugle and how he's moved up. But then what happens is he winds up getting called out for a plagiarism situation that happened when his body was switched with Otto Octavius. So you got to appreciate the continuity that goes into this book, okay? Unlike Tony Stark Iron Man, there was no continuity explained whatsoever. But here we wind up getting to see the continuation of Peter Parker's story. So right away, you get to see that Nick Spencer appreciated what Dan Slott did, and he's using that to his advantage to move forward with his story. So it was really cool that, you know, again, he suffers from the Parker luck, but he's going to have to deal with it. And as he suffers through this Parker luck, he realizes that he goes to MJ and he has to talk about this situation to MJ. And, MJ is that shoulder that he can cry on. He is that person, she is that person that he can vent to when he needs to. Otherwise, he doesn't really have anybody else. And when he unloads this situation on her, she starts cracking up. And you're like, oh my God, that's so funny. But you can see that he's really hurt and he doesn't know what to do because his secret identity affects the people that he loves. And as much as he tries to avoid that, he can't help it sometimes. So it affected his job. It affected Mary Jane. It affected Aunt May. Aunt May is very disappointed when she reads this on the internet. And, and so Peter has to try to resolve this situation. So as the issue goes along, we wind up finding out that these alien invaders that Peter was dealing with and sacrifices himself to try to save the world, he realizes that it's really Mysterio. And, he turns Mysterio in. But Peter had this epiphany about, you know what, I have nothing to lose, and I cannot live without this person in my life. And really, it was MJ. And when he lays his heart out on the line to MJ, she really appreciates it, and basically we get to see a kiss between the two. Something that we haven't, we've seen it a couple issues ago, but, MJ had second thoughts. Now, you don't really know how much time has passed between 801 or 800 or whatever it was issue when they got together till now, but this time it looks like they're sharing a really passionate kiss, and they could rekindle their actual relationship, okay? And then that's how the part of the story ends. Then you get to see a little backstory with Mysterio, and there's something going on with him as well. He gets sent to jail. He's on trial. The Beetle actually makes her appearance to testify she's the defense attorney for Mysterio, and we get to see this weird entity that, holds in place for Mysterio, like holds it against him or whatever it is, and you're not really sure who this person it is. Reminds me of like Swarm or something, whatever it is, but you don't get too much detail of this particular character. And basically, at the end of the day, we get a little glimpse of that, and then we wind up seeing that Peter Parker has a way to actually go back to school again to get his degree, to kind of redeem himself. And the thing that actually is going to teach him is Dr. Kirk Connors as the Lizard. And I was like, oh, wow, that's quite interesting. So, that's how the issue ends. So what did I think of The Amazing Spider-Man by Nick Spencer? This first issue was really good. As of right now, it gives you hope for Mary Jane and Peter Parker to come together again. Will it actually happen? That's still yet to be determined. We've seen this before. We've seen teases. Shit, we saw it a couple issues ago with Amazing Spider-Man 800 or whatnot, with Mary Jane and stuff like that. But if Nick Spencer throws Mary Jane in the story right from the forefront, I feel like she's going to be more involved. And I like that. I really do. There's little instances in here where you feel like something is missing. Like they show a picture with Mary Jane and her hand on a panel without a wedding ring on. So is this a foreshadowing of them getting married in the possible future? I don't know. I'm not going to hold it. I'm not going to get too excited yet because nothing is ever for sure in comics, right? We've seen it before. They've teased it before, but nothing has ever happened. But having Mary Jane in this comic book series once again is a step in the right direction. I love the interactions here between all the characters. I loved Peter in this book. The dialogue was a moderate enough, right? You were never bored with the story. It had good action in here, nice balance of humor, and I am so looking forward to see where this story actually goes from here. And it's nice to have a new writer on this. It feels literally like a fresh start. And the book is titled Back to Basics. So could this go back to basics of what Peter Parker was before all the stuff that Dan Slott did? Will it go back to that time? Again, time will tell. But in this meantime, I gotta give this book probably a 4.5 or 4 3/4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a little lengthy. The Mysterio part, I don't think was maybe necessary at the end. Or even the Dr. Kirk Connors part was, you know, necessary. They could have ended it with the Mary Jane situation, and I would have been perfectly happy with that. But nevertheless, really good story. If you guys have dumped all over this already and said, I'm done with Spider-Man, I actually say give it a shot, guys. I think you won't be disappointed. You might be happy with it. So, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this review. Again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. And if you like, hit that notification button so you don't miss a single video from me. And until that next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.